I've just climbed, how far have I climbed?
About 150 feet.
150 feet up some fucking desert tower. Oh.
So that'll be, what's that, 30 meters? Moab itself has changed, it's grown. It's, I think it's become far bigger. There's far more people. It's far noisier. All the activity with the tourists and the tourism and everything else is all up and down the main drag here. Most of the tourists who come here probably want to go visiting the parks to look at things, or they want to go biking, or they want to go rafting, or they want to go climbing. Came here, I think, about 1991, 1992, around there. Climbed Standing Rock. And that's a really amazing, spindly little tower. That was the original draw for climbers. It was climbed in 1962. Back then, this wasn't even a park. This wasn't a park until 1964. And there were no real maps to show where anything was. They just saw a photo of this thing in an old National Geographic. And so these guys, Leighton Core and Huntley Ingalls, they commandeered this guy Steve Crusher, who was he was a climber, and he had a brand new car, a Ford Falcon, which was almost brand new, very low clearance. And they commandeered Steve Crusher and his car and drove down here in the car, the outcome for the car was not so good. But they climbed their climb, and it's one of the most famous ones, one of the more famous desert towers, and I think it's my own personal favorite. I've climbed it like 4 times now. It's a fabulous climb, fabulous setting, amazing summit, and the fact that it's really difficult to get to just makes it all the sweeter to get to the top of the thing again. It's almost like coming home. I've spent so much time down here. Home from home. But you can't live here though. You get these miles upon miles of these amazing cliffs that just run on forever with the amazing colors.
Is this a typical climber's breakfast, or do you go to town more than others?
This is a typical climber's breakfast around here for me. Most climbers are these anorexic fitness types, and they'll be eating like a little bit of yogurt and like half an apple, and it's got to be a small apple, not a big one. But not me. I like a big breakfast with lots of bacon and eggs and stuff. One of the great things about climbing, and this is where I think around here is a much better activity than, say, biking. Because biking, you're always looking at the ground in front of you, because otherwise you're going to fall over and get hurt. So that's all you ever see all day. But you know, I'm biased, I'll admit it. But when you're climbing, you're either enjoying the climbing itself, the process and the problem solving and all the rest of it, or else you're watching, and the light around here is always changing and shifting, and everything is looking different. I mean, now the bright sun is on all this stuff. It looks like it could be what Kent looked like 2,000 years ago. Little bits of grass, and worth preserving. A landscape worth preserving for our children and for the future. Is that even on? Oh, it is, yeah.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hey.
How are you today?
Good.
What can I do for you?
A couple of things. Just want to show that we're here.
Do you want to pick up the permit tonight, or do you want to come back tomorrow and pick it up?
We might as well pick it up right now, I suppose. Is that okay?
Fine, yeah. Absolutely So then the permit itself, you'll sign it and then that stays with you. So if
Yeah.
you're out of the vehicle and
I have to
exploring
carry
and
it,
hiking,
yeah.
you just carry it with you, put it in your
Yeah.
backpack. Trip leader, if you would sign there for me, please and thank you. And the date is the 2nd. All right, you're all set.
All
Wish I
right.
was going with you. Have a good time.
Yeah, cool. How are we doing? We're doing great. We made it. We're here in Taylor Canyon, and this is our destination. Yeah. And that's the Moses Group, I guess you could call it. These cluster of towers here. And if you're flying over them in an aeroplane, what you notice is instead of there being 4 separate towers, it's a fin with big, huge notches in, a really thin thing. And if you're lined up across the canyon looking at it, they line up perfectly, and they're really thin the whole way through. But from left to right, the leftmost one, which is right against it's actually a separate thing, but it looks like it's attached to the rock behind, is called Aphrodite. The thing by itself is in the middle, in that big gap, is called Zeus. These all have these cool names. Moses is the really big thing, and you can see his head up there, looking out, big chin, looking out over the canyon there. And the Thracian mare, one of the labors of Hercules, I guess, some riding the Thracian mare, is the one just down and right from Moses. And that's the thing we're going to try and climb.
Crusher,
Yeah.
can you just give me a rundown of what's been happening over the past hour or two?
Chris tried to go up the Thracian mare, but it didn't seem to match the description in the book, and it seemed the terrain looked very intimidating, serious, loose and dangerous. Yeah.
And that's the most important thing, is to make the right judgments at the right time, right?
Yeah, it's important to, these towers will be here for a long time. It's important to make sure that we're here to come back. So this is our.
Do you want to do a first
This is
ascent
our
today?
plan B.
Do I want to do a first ascent?
Yeah, well, you're going to be a part of the team. You know,
Okay, does that count?
You know what happens if you're on the team with us is your name is now in history.
That's right.
What, so no one's ever climbed this one before?
No,
No one's ever climbed this crack.
not to our knowledge.
Can we name it David?
I'm now in my mid-50s. In my 20s, I didn't pay too much attention to other people. I was much more self-centered. But over the decades, learned to deal with people, engage with people much better. And as I learn to engage with people much better, I find that everybody has their own private, personal struggles with something. Very few people are just so kind of centered and grounded that they have no struggle in their lives. We all have struggles. And people deal with them in different ways. Personally, I found that climbing for me, almost accidentally, was a way that I could confront and deal with some of the struggles, my own personal struggles, and actually come out as a nicer, better person. To climb well, especially in areas of climbing which involve areas of risk management, judgment, risk management, you have to be very honest with yourself. Your internal dialogue has to be ruthlessly honest. You cannot pretend to yourself, otherwise you're going to either get up nothing or you will just get injured or worse.
So we have a little bit of a challenge ahead of us here.
Okay.
Not.
Oh, I see. There's the summit.
Yeah. There's a bolt there. There's one missing. This is the protection bolt to get to the summit.
Ah.
Maybe they drilled a hole and stopped and moved it, but
The guide says that the summit was soft rock. Then he put one bolt in there and lowered back down to 2 good bolts lower down.
nope. There's only one bolt there now.
Oh shit, that's not good. So we got almost to the top. The top, there was a bolt missing. There was a wrap anchor up there, 2-bolt wrap anchor, because you always use 2 bolts to wrap off of, redundancy. So if one fails, you got a second one. But one of them was missing. So we have to go back up in the morning to fix that. This landscape, one of the reasons you can see so many different things is perhaps because it is so stark, so unspoiled, so barren. There are very few roads, very little pollution, very few people. And so you're forced to deal with it in some direct way. You find something that you can identify with and appreciate within this environment, within this landscape.
Sleep well?
I did. Sleep so much more. I love sleeping right now.
Being awake is better.
Being awake is better. I definitely agree to that.
Yeah.
Did you have the urge from a young age then, climbing?
Yeah, I remember climbing trees. I always be climbing trees, which is better than like getting into fights. I seem to do that sometimes. I think that was a healthier outlet for whatever energy I had. We left a lot of stuff up there, so we're just carrying a few things we need.
And that's a safe thing to do. No worry of burglary around here.
No. You think we'll get finished today? I hope so. It's a frog, but when they go up there, kiss it and it'll turn into a princess. That's what's going to happen. Oh wait, maybe it needs to be a toad. Yeah, it looks great. It's beautiful. The light is fabulous today. It's all sunny. Everything is just as we left it. Good. That's what I like to see. Nothing's been blown away. Looks like the rope is all still there, just as we left it. Good. And the bolt kit.
Aha.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to solve problems for future climbers.
By drilling, or maybe not even drilling, just placing a bolt in the existing hole, or if need be, drilling a new hole. I think the objective is to get us all up as high as we each want to go, and all back down safely again today. So there's a ledge about a foot below where your feet are. That's like 1/3 of a meter to you.
That ledge first.
Jesus Christ. What's going on with all these ropes?
Don't worry, don't touch them.
Am I attached to it?
You have a little bit of something here. You're good now.
Right, can you guide me to the ledge?
Just up a bit. That's it. That's part of the ledge right there. That's it.
Now what?
Just keep easing your way down. You're okay.
No, don't
go
turn it
left.
off.
Don't go to the right because there's
Left.
no. Move a bit left.
Am I going in the right direction?
Left. Okay. Yeah. There's another ledge about 6 inches down.
Where? Towards the left?
Straight down below your right foot.
It's a lot shorter than
I've got a hold of you here.
Okay. That's not much of a ledge.
That's okay.
Oh,
I got
where the
you.
wind. I'm going back up.
No, you.
Go back up. The only thing to worry about is that.
Whoa, I'm going back up.
No,
You can't go back up. Please don't go back up. If you
Just
do,
stay
it's gonna
where
make
you
have to
are.
all over
You're
again.
fine.
It's gonna be bad.
But this wind is just...
You've already done the most difficult bit.
Yeah, just go.
I got a hold of you here. You
Right,
feel
I've
that?
got-
Crusher, just pull over.
When I don't get to hold a rope.
let go of the rock.
Okay.
I've got you here.
Can I hold the rope? Which rope?
Yes, you can hold that.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm easing the rope out. Feel that? Is that okay?
Yeah.
So this is what's going to happen all the way down.
Okay. Bye. What's all that stuff?
Canyonlands is really unique. There's nothing like it. It's my favorite bit of Utah. The people who come here are the people who are prepared to put a lot out to come here to do something, to engage with this, what they see in the landscape, engage with what they want to do, whether it's hiking or boating or climbing or biking. You've got to do it on a grand scale here because the landscape's on a grand scale.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Hi!
Hey!
Great.
How's it feel down there?
It's very, very amazing here actually. That's beautiful.
I really like that. It makes everything you do here a challenge.